Do you remember what we done in the last class?
Ma'am,
Hello?
2D.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Vidhi, you were saying something.
Yes, ma'am, 2D array. And we did some problems also.
Okay, we did some questions also on 2D array, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm giving you one question for 2D array, then we can, move on to the next topic. But let us finish one question on 2D array again. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. Let me get my pen also. Yes. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's think of one more question. Okay. Given a 2D array, okay, I want you to write a program on this. Given a 2D array, okay, uh, print the summation of all the elements in the boundary. Okay. If it's a 3 cross 3 matrix, you need to print the summation of these elements, all the boundary elements, okay, including the corners and the boundaries also. Okay. If it's a 4 cross 4 matrix or 5 cross 5 matrix, then you need to print the summation of all these elements. Are you getting the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right. I'm giving you a simple question. It's not too hard. It's very simple. Just figure out the logic of it, and then try to put it in a program. Okay. Open your editors also. First, figure out a logic using pen and paper. You can test the values, like what values we are using here. Like it is 0, comma 0. This you already know, right? Then you already know if it is 0, then you have to include the 0th row. Then the last column, the last row, right? Then the 0th column and the last column. Like this you can think, right? But this element shouldn't get repeated, okay? Just make sure that these elements shouldn't get repeated twice, okay? Try to create a formula or something, or you can even write a program on this, okay? Given the matrix of n cross n size, okay, I'm giving you a few minutes to think about, okay, to write the program or anything that you want to do. Just create a formula or something for this. Given m cross n or n cross n matrix, n cross n only, it's going to be a square matrix only. Given n cross n matrix, try to figure out the summation of the boundary elements of the matrix. Is everybody getting the question? What you have to do? Kriplani, Darshan, Manav, Mohammed, Pradhanya, Deep. Are you getting the question? Hello? Okay. Okay, good, yes. I'm giving you a few minutes to think about the logic. Okay, for those who have just recently joined, we are writing the logic for this scenario. Given the matrix of size n cross n, figure out the way to sum all the boundary elements of the matrix. Only the boundary elements of the matrix.
Oh, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, from row we can add from 0 to n, and in column from 0 to n, and then we can add them and multiply by 2.
Okay, we can add from row from 0 to n, okay? N
Yes,
minus 1. N
yes,
minus 1.
and from column 0 to n.
0 to again n minus 1.
Yes,
Okay, then.
and then we have to multiply it by 2.
Okay. What if the elements are different? Are you getting? The
Okay.
elements will not be same, no? Yeah. Because the actual element will not be same, right? Something like this, right? The elements will never be same, no? Why there are so many less number of people today?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Bhavdev. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, we have to sum all the boundary elements or only for corner elements?
No, no, all the boundary elements. You have to traverse like this, all the boundary elements, okay? Including the corners, yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Hmm. Yes, any ideas? People are joining late today. What happened? Okay, for those who joined late, what is the first program that you have to do today is you need to figure out the logic to sum all the boundary elements of the matrix, of the 2D matrix, okay? Meaning elements that reside here. Only in the boundaries and not in the center. These are just I and j values. If you think of the matrix, you have the loop running twice, right? One loop of I and one loop of j, right? In this loop only you can figure out the logic. Here itself you can figure out the logic. What to do. Because any which way you have to parse the whole matrix, right? So you have to start working with 0 and you have to go till the length of the matrix, length of the row, length of the column here, right? You have to work on rows and column both. Yes, anybody? Shall I help you out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so this will vary, right? The number of rows and number of columns, like it is a square matrix, but still this has to vary. This is not fixed. So you need a loop, right? For running your I from 0 to n minus 1, right? This will run till n minus 1. Or you can write the loop till less than n. That is nothing but equals to n minus 1, right? Same here also. J will run from 0 to n minus 1 because this will vary. Okay, the size of the matrix will vary. Now, if you think about it, when I is 0, that is the first row, right? Hello? See, students are
Yes,
sleeping.
ma'am.
What I say now. Yes, when I is 0, yeah. Okay. Yeah. When I is 0, this is the first row, right? So you can make a condition over here that whenever your I is equals to 0, at that time you want to perform the summation of the I comma j, right? This is going to sum all the elements of the first row. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, correct. Okay. Now, when what if the last row? Can you tell me what is the value of I here?
N minus 1.
Correct, right. So you make another if condition stating that whenever I is equals to the total number of elements minus 1, again put the same formula, no? Sum equals to sum plus A of ij, right? Summation formula will be the same for all the conditions that you put, right? This is how you are summing this and this, right? Some of the elements of the first row and some of the elements of the last row. This is done. Now, can you tell me how it should start with J? What about this? Now, can you help me out in this?
Ma'am, j equals to 0.
Okay, J should start with 0. Okay, again, good. Then, yes, then.
And I equals to
No need to worry about I know. Just think about J as 0. Just think about this. Right?
Ma'am, j equals to 0 and j is greater than equals to n minus 1.
Yes, J is equals to n minus 1 or J is equals to 0. Just like I you have formulated. No, same way J's condition will come. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. You're done. Done with the solution. Right? Am I correct? You are telling that you want to ignore this first element, so you're working with I and J both here like that. You're telling. I'm not getting what you're telling. Okay, can you repeat that? Why are you adding I over here along with the J? Why are you adding I for summing only these 3 elements, right? You're not answering. Then how can I explain?
Ma'am, I
it?
have a question, ma'am. Won't the corner elements be counted 2 times?
That is what now. See, your J can start with 0. You add one more condition with that. You are right. Add one more condition with that of I. I should start with 1 in that case.
Or ma'am, we can subtract the values where I and J are equal.
At the end, that is also fine. Yes,
Yeah.
you can subtract the boundary elements. That is also fine. Yeah. Any which way it is fine, right? You can add one more I condition over here that I should start with 1 and it should run till n minus 2. Right? And J has to be 0. That loop you can, that if condition, one more if condition you can put over there. But that will not be a simple if condition because in that case, I should be incremented. No, at the same time. Right? This could be inner loop. One more loop you have to put here to sum these 3 elements. So again, that is a better solution, Rishabh. You can subtract the boundary elements at the end one more time. For those
Okay.
elements you have added, you can subtract the boundary elements.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Yes. Clear what you are doing here? How you think of it? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Then one more question I can give is sum the non-boundary elements of the matrix. Right? Not today, but whenever you are free, try to figure out this logic also. Sum the non-boundary elements. In that case, the condition would go in negation itself, right? Sum the non-boundary elements. When I is non-zero or it is I is not n minus 1, at that time you need to think of summing the elements, right? Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, Rishabh, we can use 2 loops for I is 0. Okay, this is an old message. Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. Till n minus 1. Yes, yes, good. Okay. Now, today what I wanted to... Okay, any questions in how to create a 2D array, how to input elements, how to access elements? Any questions in 2D array?
no, ma'am.
Then we can move ahead with the next topic. If you have any questions in how to input the data, create the array, then we can continue. Otherwise, we can move on to the next question, next topic. Is it clear? You all are sleeping today. I don't know. People are not answering. They are sleeping in my.
Ma'am,
You all are
ma'am.
this. Okay. Yes, yes, Pima.
Can you explain once, madam, how to access the data in array map? That's all.
How to access the
How
data?
to access the data? Yes, ma'am.
2D or 1D?
2D, madam.
2D. You
Yes.
get 2 loops, Pima. You just have to think of 2 loops, right? In 1D, you are accessing it like this only, right? 0, 1, 2, like that. Am I correct? In 2D, you will need rows and columns both, right? So you just have to input 2 values. You have to think of 2, variables. One which is guarding the rows and one which is guarding the columns, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
In 1D, shall I use, madam? In 1D, shall I use either row or a column, madam?
Yes,
in
yes.
1D.
In 1D, orientation is dependent on the JVM. It doesn't depend on us. It will always be contiguous memory allocation. But again, this could be row-wise also. It could be column-wise also. But you're only getting one element, one index only here. You're working with only one index, right? Not
Yes,
dual indices. Here you're working with dual indexes, right? 0, 0, 0, 1 like that, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. So you need 2 variables or 2 loops. nested loops to execute this 2D array. To perform the operations on 2D array, will always require 2 loops. But for 1D array, even 1 loop is sufficient because you are only working with 1 index, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. The next, okay, any questions in 2D array, you can ask me. See, the concept, the questions that you will face will always vary. Okay, but you must be able to traverse or access a particular element in a 2D array, then you are the master of it. You can always work on different questions, right? But once you know how to access it, you can, get to the logic. Any questions in creating, accessing, utilizing any portion of the 2D array, you can tell me. No questions, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, so next what I wanted to start is wrapper classes. Okay, you know string, right? String you have done. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, now see, why are you people joining late? Manjwani, you joined late today. Why? Even Rishabh is late today. Pranjal is there, but I cannot hear his voice. Why it is like that? You all are in sleepy mode, Sunday vibes still going on?
No, ma'am. Actually, I really joined late. I went out to drop my cousin at school, so I came late.
Okay. Okay, see, what we are going to start today is, okay, you have already done string. Okay, wrapper classes. We are going to start a new topic today, a small topic today, known as wrapper classes. Trying to join from why? What happened, Panjwani? Network issues. Okay, fine. Okay, no problem. Okay, now the wrapper classes or the classes which wrap the primitive data types are known as wrapper classes. Wrapper in the sense, the wrapper of your chocolate, okay? You can spell it like this only, wrapper classes. Okay. They will wrap your primitive data types. Now, how many primitive data types do you know? Can you tell me? Primitive data types, you know this, hello? How many primitive data types do you know? Primitive, simple, normal data types, how many do you know? You can unmute and speak, 7. Okay, which are they? I think they are 8 or 7, I don't remember.
Int, long,
yes.
Short, float, double, boolean, char.
Okay, yes.
Byte.
Yes, byte. Right, how 1, 2, 3.
Yes, byte.
Even one more is remaining.
8.
Char.
Float. Right, float. Yes.
Float, ma'am.
Right? Yes. So we have 8 such primitive data types, right? Now, there are 8 such primitive data types, correct? Respective to these data types, there are individual 8 such wrapper classes. Okay. And all these classes, they belong to the lang package. The lang package is the only package or the only folder that gets by default imported in your class, right? You need not to import java.lang. If you remember the math class that we have used, if you remember the math class, right? Do you remember the math class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we always use it like this, right? We can use the functions of math like this, am I right? Without importing anything. Because it is in the lang package. And lang package is automatically by default imported in Java. Right? Now, that is only one package that gets by default imported. You need to import it, okay? Even if I imported it, there is no use of writing this statement. But I wanted to show you something. See, can you see this B capital Boolean? Can you see byte? Can you see character? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
okay. All these are known as wrapper classes. Float, right? All these wrapper classes allow you to create this primitive data types. Okay. If the lang package was not by default imported, or the lang package you need to import manually every now and then. They have given the functionality of it is by default imported, right? It is not going to, you need not to import it explicitly. The reason is that all these keywords, public, class, this public static, this void, this new, creating integers, small double, using this loop, all these constructs are predefined in this lang package in different classes. Like integer is declared or defined in a whole separate wrapper class known as integer. Okay, and this is known as the wrapper class for small primitive data type int. Class data type, reference data type, complex data type, primitive data type, simple data type. There is always somebody is making too much of wait. Okay. Yes. There is always the possibility of converting this wrapper to primitive and primitive to wrapper. The reason we convert this is, the reason we can always find this conversion is, there are different methods available as a class for an integer, which are not available for a small int primitive data type. Okay, I'll show you those methods, but there is always a conversion between primitive to non-primitive data type, or from reference to primitive, or primitive to class type data type, or reference data type. And this process of converting primitive to non-primitive and vice versa is known as auto-boxing, A-U-T-O, okay, auto-boxing, or it is also known as unboxing. Okay, when you are wrapping up your primitive to non-primitive, you are packing this small integer up in a bigger container, that is known as auto-boxing, which automatically happens, okay? And the another method of converting this biggest integer or class data type to this small integer variable is known as unboxing. The reason why you are doing this, there are a whole lot of great good methods available when the integers are of class data type as compared to simple integer variables. That is the only reason we allow auto boxing and unboxing. We implement this because we can access like this only. No, if scanner is the class, I am able to call all the functions of scanner class by using object dot something, right? Similarly, if I am able to create integer, I am able to incorporate much more functionalities for integer which are not available with primitive data types. Okay, if I am creating n s10 here, is10 here, okay, but now I want this to be here, okay, I want this to be a class data type. Say for example, IOB, I'm mentioning it as IOB. Okay, I can always convert your primitive to non-primitive like this, and I can call a whole lot of methods here. See, I can get the string value of this integer, I can get the floating point value of this, double value of this. There are a whole lot of methods which are available for class as a data type, which is not available for simple variable. I cannot use I dot something, right? Because I is a simple variable. I is not an object. But if I convert this I to an object like this, then I can access all the good methods of integer class, right? Are you getting the use of auto boxing and unboxing? What is auto boxing and what is unboxing? Are you getting this? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. There is always only one. Vidhi is awake. Others are still in their napping time. They didn't have coffee. They didn't have tea. You didn't have your breakfast early in the morning, so no energy.
Madam, can you explain once, ma'am?
Oh, I will explain it 1,000 number of times, but you have to at least agree. Of course, I'll explain it. Okay. See, these are primitive data types. I'll give you the example. Okay. These are primitive data types, right? This you all know very well. Float F. Okay. Then you also know Boolean. Then you also know character. Right? Okay. Oh, you also know this. Okay. Byte also you know, right? Okay. Now, all these are primitive data types. If I want to extract the string value out of integer, I want to convert integer to string, which is not possible with this I, because there are no methods available in this format, I dot something. I don't have any methods because I is a primitive data type. I is not a complex or an object data type. If I was an object, if this variable was an object, then I could create ob dot something. No, I can call different methods of classes like this, right? How do we call methods of scanner class? By using object dot its method, right? By using this method, we can call different objects of scanner class, right? We know that scan is an object of class scanner. That is why we are able to do this, okay? But with primitive, can you do this? Can you do this with primitive? Is it possible? Can you call the dot operator on primitive data types?
No, ma'am.
No, right? Can you call it? Can you call dot operator? Muhammad, are you awake? Harshvardhan, Rishabh? No, right? Okay, good, yes. Then why aren't you unmuting yourself and talk to me? Always unmute yourself, okay? Don't type, I don't like to switch here and there, okay? See, you cannot call the objects, you cannot call functions like this. Primitive cannot be used like this. But if I am able to wrap this up in a wrapper class, which is known as actually boxing it up, auto boxing, okay? If I am able to wrap the content of this I to object, if I'm able to convert this simple primitive to non-primitive, I'm repeating again, I'm converting simple variable to object type. Then with that object type, I can always call different methods of that object, integer I, okay? That is possible by the use of wrapper class. If I know what is a wrapper class, I can use that integer wrapper class for this simple primitive data type int and convert this simple I to the complex I, primitive to non-primitive, variable to class or object data type. How to do that? By simply assigning I to your new object, right? This is your scanner's object, right? Think of it as a scanner's object, class name, object name. Scanner scan equals to new scanner we write, right? The way of creating object is that only. Here we are not creating new object, but we are creating a new object in this way by assigning this value to this IOB as a new object. Then I am able to call all the beautiful functions of IOB like this. IOB dot, I can extract the byte value out of it. I can get the double value out of it. I can also get the string value out of it by using this string. And you will be using this string and integer conversion so many times in your program. Okay, why I am telling you this is important is you will be using string to integer conversions in your program so many times. Let me show you one example. If you are asked to reverse a number, simple program, right? Then you can use that, the while loop, which doesn't, it should go till the number empties itself. That while loop you can use. But with string, if you are asked to reverse a string, there is a simple method known as reverse to reverse a string. I can directly reverse a string by calling the reverse method on it, right? So it is always beneficial you should know how to convert integer to string and string to integer in this way, right? Then you will be able to access all these good functions. Applications of this will vary. According to the program, the applications will vary, right? If you are asked to print the odd even characters, you can print the caret 1, caret 3, caret 5 like that, but this should be string to print those characters, right? You can always convert integer to string in these methods. So these methods are used. If you know how to convert this integer object to a simple integer variable to an object, then you will be able to access all the methods. Like I want to convert this to string. Then I can save this value in a string variable, see, string s, and then I can print this s, or I can use this s in whichever way I want. But this will be of type string, not of type integer. Here I'm converting, I'm doing what? I'm asking a primitive, I'm creating a non-primitive object out of this primitive, then converting this non-primitive with its beautiful method to string class, and then I can access this string in whichever way we want, right? Are you getting what I have done over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody is getting. I have converted integer to its wrapper class integer, and I'm converting this to string. Okay. Direct conversion is not possible. I can convert this to wrapper class and then I can convert this to string very easily. Right? This is also possible, but in a different way that I'll explain it to you later on. But I am converting integer to its wrapper class and then converting it into string. And conversion of smaller data types to complex is known as auto boxing. Okay, automatically you can box a simple box can be put into a bigger box, that is known as auto boxing. This is smaller data type, complex, bigger father data type. Okay, parent data type. I'm creating a small box integer. This is your nothing but parent data type, main class integer. This is auto boxing. Are you getting this? Hello. Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
ma'am.
There is one more way of doing it. Okay. There is one more way of converting this. This is the first way. Okay. First way is this. Another way to convert your the primitive to non-primitive is this is second way. Okay. Second way is you create the integer object IOB, say for example 1 or something, new integer, you create as if it's you're creating an object of that class. Okay, and here you can pass the value of I, or you can pass the actual number also if you want. Okay, this is another way of creating the same thing. I am creating IOB1 as new integer, both are same. Okay, either you can assign I over here, or you can also give it like this. Both are same. Both will convert this I to its primitive to non-primitive conversion. Both the methods are same. Are you getting it? Either you create new integer and then pass the value over here. This is again auto boxing only. Okay, auto boxing only, but second way of auto boxing is this. Are you getting? If you want to do it in a reverse order, if you want to unbox means you want to open this big box and you want to convert this big box into a smaller box, means you are converting your primitive to non-primitive. That is unboxing. How to unbox? Same way. To unbox this, you are converting into a simple variable x. What do you want to unbox? I want to unbox IOB1. See, it is possible without typecasting, without doing anything. Okay, so this x will have whatever is the value of I written over here. If I'm writing here 100, then x's value will be 100. If I print x, this will be 100. Why? I'm converting a non-primitive to primitive without using any typecasting. Why? They both belong to the same class here. Integer, they both belong to the same hierarchy. You need not to put here some casting. You need not to put here casting because you are doing this in double, int, character. You are doing this, right? You know what is casting. You have done this in different categories. But integer and int, they both belong to the same category. You need not to apply casting. You can directly mention it like this. Whatever is the object name, I can assign this object to x. So this object's integer value will be assigned to x. So x will be henceforth 100. Are you getting it? Hello, are you awake?
Yes, we're getting.
Are you getting this? What I'm telling here? With this class, you have a great power in your hand. You can use this object to create different types of variables of this integer. Okay, you can create a byte variable out of it. You can create a double variable out of it, right? You can even create a string value out of it. You have a great power if you convert this primitive to non-primitive. Similarly, if you want to convert this reference or non-primitive to primitive, simple statement like this, right? Conversion, do you understand? Converting this, if you think both the methods are same only. This is integer I, simple primitive, and you're converting into non-primitive. And this is nothing but non-primitive and you're converting into primitive. Both the statements will speak it same way. They are both same. Conversion, auto boxing and boxing. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Clear.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am, clear.
Now, if it is with integer, the same thing is happening with double also. I'm here, sir. I got us. The bus actually, it was so late, sir. I reached here at 9:02. I punched at 9 o'clock. But I came. I got the bus, but it was late today. I don't know why.
Because the same driver.
Same driver is there, no? So he's coming again, going back again. Yes, 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 it is. I'll just finish my lecture and I'll come. Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you. Okay, yes, yes. So there is always a conversion from, you can convert it like this, right? Now, if you have, oh, I was here. If you have integer, in the same way you can have double also, no? You can have the repa class of double also, right? Say, for example, double D1 equals to D. And this D1 has full power. It has all the methods to see, convert this double to string also, convert this to long also. You can even compare it to with another double also, right? You can even compare the contents of two different double also using equals method. Is the content same or not? Using object, not simple variable, using object's content, right? Same way you can have the same repa class for float also, boolean also, char also. For how many data types you have, all of them you will have the same repa class. And without this repa class, you will not be able to write simple int. If the compiler knows this int keyword, it means it knows what is integer. If it doesn't know what is integer, then it doesn't know what is int, right? These keywords are already defined in this big class integer, which is there in your lang package. Okay, it is there here. See, integer is there here. In this class, only these keywords are defined, and you can use small int because of this integer class. Without importing such thing, you are able to use it. Are you getting this? What is the auto boxing thing? What is unboxing? Any doubts in this? Conversions. Hello?
No, ma'am.
No.
ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Then see. Then I have one small small program for you. Okay. I wanted to figure out a logic for that. Using this, you will be able to do it. Reverse only. Let us say reverse only. Okay, that's reverse only. Okay. Given the integer, I want you all to think. Given the integer, okay. If I want to reverse this number without using this while loop, which is, you run this loop till the number empties itself, and then you keep this modulus and all, right? You use this modulus operator and all to extract the numbers and create a new number. Without this, if I want to use string class to reverse the number, how will I be able to do it? Now, given the integer, can you give me the steps?
Ma'am, we will use two string method.
Yes, we'll use toString method, correct. So x.toString is not available because it is primitive, right? So now I have to use
create object
of class
integer.
integer, right? Correct, yes. I can create it like this also, right? Or I can also create it like this. Both the ways are correct, okay? Both the ways are correct. There is no problem in any of the way. Okay, this is a string because I'm using the same variable there, right? Now, what is the next step?
Ma'am, we have to create a string variable.
Very good. Okay, then
Ma'am, I dot toString.
yes, I dot toString. I'm converting this to string. Okay, then right? S reverse is not possible. Reverse method is not there in string. Okay, it is there in string buffer. I'll open that again later on. But okay, if I want to do it with loop, then how will I do? If I want to reverse a string using loop, how will I reverse a string using loop? Are caret method, no? Do you remember caret method? Caret method, do you remember that? At least speak yes or no when I say something, if you remember it. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you remember caret method, right? So I'll start my loop with S. I'll start my loop with 0, okay? I'll run it till s dot length, okay? And I'll increment I plus plus. Or I can even start my loop with s dot length. Oh, that is a better way. See, length minus 1. I'm starting my loop with length minus 1. I'm running my loop till I is greater than or equals to 0 and incrementing it by 1. Okay, leng variable I is declared. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, yes, okay. And I'm starting my loop with length minus 1. And if you remember caret method, character at I, right? If I just print this, wouldn't I get the reverse string now? Is it correct? Character at, if the string is, if the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, then character at length minus 1 means character at the third position, right? It starts with 0, no? So 0, 1, 2, 3, right? I can get it like this, no? I can reverse this loop up. I'm starting it with reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Is it correct? You all
Yes,
are
ma'am.
sleeping today. I don't know why. Nobody is answering. Yes, wait. It is getting out of bound. Now help me with this. It is getting out of bound.
Ma'am, I minus aega.
Okay, yes. Here I minus. Yes, correct. Okay. Okay, good. Now it is going to print 4, 3, 2, 1. And if I don't want this, I can just, right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Right. So with this, you don't have to figure out. So many things are possible with string. Strings are easy to handle than integers, right? To break up integer and to create something out of it, it is always your thinker. It is always a thinker. But if you know strings, caret is the best method to extract the strings out, characters out of it, and then you can use anything to do this. Now, if somebody is asking you to encrypt a number, you have done that program, encryption of the string. You have done that. Given a string, try to encrypt that. Have you done that program?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Then it's I'm giving you as a homework, or we'll do it in the next class also together. We can do it, no problem. But what is the thing? Given this string A, B, C, D, given the message A, B, C, D, try to encrypt it in such a way, plus some key. Key is nothing but some integer value. Say, for example, key is 1, then output should be like this. How do you get it? I am adding 1 to the key, right? Like this. Are you getting it? Key is 1, no? So I am adding whatever is the input string, I am encrypting it with a simple replacement of what? A should be replaced with A plus 1. B with B plus 1, that is C. C with C plus 1, that is D. Right? This kind of questions can come. Same with integers also it can come. Right? Given the number 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, try to encrypt it with 2, like this, right? How? We know that key is 1. That is how you added 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, right? This kind of questions, we'll be doing it in the next class. Okay, that is fine. But are you getting this? Conversion of primitive to non-primitive and non-primitive to primitive and using it in this ways. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. Okay, fine. And I'll take attendance, then you all can leave. That is fine. Okay. 15th, right, today? Yes, Ayush is there. Ayush? Rohan?
Present, ma'am.
Vipin?
Present, ma'am.
Okay, you're there. Manav?
Yes, ma'am.
Anuj?
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Riddhi?
Present, ma'am.
Yes, Raj?
Ma'am, Ayush
Yes.
present, ma'am.
Ayush is present. Okay. Yes, Raj? Dash?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Mansi? Nikita? Manthan?
Present, ma'am.
Smith Kumar?
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Devansh,
Present, ma'am.
Divyajit,
Present.
Yashang,
Yes, ma'am.
Vipin,
Yes, ma'am.
Tushar. He was there. Tushar is there. Okay. Yash,
Present, ma'am.
Manyar, Parmar,
Present, ma'am.
Udairaj, Rishabh, Ivanchi.
Present.
Yes. Ganvi,
Present, ma'am.
Anushali, Harshvardhan,
Present, ma'am.
Vijayaraj,
Present, ma'am.
Radhania,
Present, ma'am.
Arti,
Present, ma'am.
Avinash, Pranjul, Limbani.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Arjan, Maharana, Tanmayraj. Okay,
Yes,
but-
ma'am.
Yes. Vignesh Prasad,
Present, ma'am.
Sushil Prasad,
Present, ma'am.
Dhruvi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Naitik, Dharmik,
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Mohammed.
Ma'am, present.
Naitik is present. Yes.
Present, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, Mohammed present.
Yes, Mohammed present. Krunal, Nidhi present. Nidhi is there. Yes. Arpit,
Present, ma'am.
Meghna, Yash,
Present.
Divya,
Yes, ma'am.
Saif Ali,
Yes, ma'am.
Samir Alam,
Present, ma'am.
Nisha,
Present, ma'am.
Vibhusha, Om, Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
another Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
Jayadakan,
Present, ma'am.
Priyank, Tushar,
Present, ma'am.
Nikita,
Present, ma'am.
Dirish, Pratik. Enrollment number 62, 61, 59, 60, 63.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 65, 73.
Yes, ma'am.
Mohammed,
Yes, ma'am.
Darshan Raj, Jaideep, Smriti,
Present, madam. Present.
Prithvish,
Present, ma'am.
yes. Vaishali, Vasu,
Present, ma'am.
Kunal,
Present, ma'am.
Aliwad is present. Aliwad is not there. Okay, yes, you all can leave the session. I've marked it.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Manyar is present, ma'am.
Manyar is present. Okay.
Darshan
Yes.
Manyar.
Yes, done. Yes, you all can leave the session. Al-Azhar is present.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, are
Any
you there?
problem, Pranjal?
Oh, Pema, sorry, ma'am. Actually, I was looking for ma'am. I was having some issue. How's you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. What about you?
How's you, bro?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm good,
totally
good.
fine. Hey, are you in college or just at your home place? Oh, sorry. You told me you're at home place. So what's
Yeah,
going
I'm
on?
in home. Yeah, it's fine. Everything is fine in my country. It's normal in my country now. No corona. No
Okay,
corona.
okay. No corona?
Yeah,
Okay, then enjoy, man.
there is only 6 positive cases.
Go for night outs. Try something. Try some food. You know.
No. Soon I'm coming college.
You're coming to college. That's so cool, man. Just join the college. Many things have changed. You know, you will get to know over there. We had an open mic stage now these days, and we are having many other arrangements.
Yeah. By this weekend I'm coming.
Okay.
Most probably on 22. I'm coming. We'll reach college by 22 February.
Actually, I will not be coming this semester, bro.
Oh, have you done assignment 2 in Java?
Yes, I had completed that. I just one question is remaining. I
Oh.
actually I was lazy to do that.
Oh, if you done, please can you share me? Since I will be busy.
Okay. Message me on WhatsApp. I will share you by evening. Okay, if you don't mind.
Okay. What about assignment on OS operating system?
Assignment OS. Actually, I hadn't installed Linux, bro. I was using online server. So I have few in online server, but actually, we can't share in OS. The point is, ma'am asked for the computer username screenshot, and that would be only that is only fixed for once at least, while the time of installation. And it will take that, for example, if I am installing Linux, that will accept my name only. So it can't be changed to your name, like Pranjal can't be changed to Pema. So if I'm giving you that my OS assignment, ma'am will directly recognize that it is not yours.
I think OS assignment number 1 is to write.
We have to run 25 commands in terminal of Linux.
Yeah, install Linux, right? That means in assignment 1. Do we have to install Linux in assignment 1?
Yeah, we need to have a Linux in our laptop or computer. You use VirtualBox for installation, ma'am, as ma'am guided us.
Pranjal, can you share your assignment as a sample then?
Attendance? Okay. Assignment. Actually, I hadn't performed it. Let me share my screen with you and tell you what you need to do actually. Is my screen visible for you?
No. Yeah, yes. No.
Okay. So you just need to go to install a software called as VirtualBox. Let me show you. And here is the VirtualBox. I had kept it in my file. Here it is, the VirtualBox. You just need to setup wizard. Okay. So you just need to install this box. So when you will finish installing it, it will open a box kind of thing. It will create a virtual environment for your laptop, and then you will have to install Linux into that. And if you want, I can share you the guided media for that. I will share you on WhatsApp how can you install that into your computer. Just message me on WhatsApp, okay?